We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors. Yeah, I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
Imagine the Shah Diddy Hams, one of the most iconic figures in hip-hop, is now at the center of a scandal so massive it could shake the entire entertainment industry. To its core, the legendary rapper-producer and entrepreneur has found himself caught up in a series of shocking allegations that have left everyone wondering how many other famous faces could be dragged down with him. Rumors are swirling and the question on everyone's mind is whether Diddy will keep quiet or start naming names. The fallout could be catastrophic for Hollywood's elite, with many celebrities allegedly tied to Diddy's wild past.
You know, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now.
If what people are saying is true, this scandal could end careers of some of the biggest names in the industry. This arrest didn't just come out of nowhere. It was a result of a massive federal investigation that's been years in the making. On March 25th, 2024 federal agents raided his properties in Miami and Los Angeles, executing search warrants that led to the seizure of a ton of evidence. According to reports, they found everything from electronic devices to footage and supplies that were supposedly used during some of Diddy's infamous private gatherings. But the most disturbing part, these parties are rumored to have involved more than just the usual celebrity excess, much more.
And a lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those two raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
Word on the street is that Did's parties weren't just your typical Hollywood blowouts. They were exclusive invite-only events where some of the biggest names in entertainment supposedly crossed lines most people wouldn't dare to imagine. And now, as authorities dig deeper into the investigation, the public is waiting to see who else will be dragged into this web of controversy.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
Joe Rogan, the famous podcaster, and comedian Andrew Schultz were chatting about the whole situation. And Rogan didn't hold back on his opinions. During one of his podcast episodes, Rogan suggested that Diddy might be forced to talk. Schultz even timed in saying, when the feds rolled up with the Hummers, it wasn't about Diddy, it was about who else was there, and that's where things get even more interesting, according to Conspiracy. Theorists, the federal raid wasn't just about Diddy, it was allegedly about tapes that could show incriminating footage of powerful people involved in the wild antics that supposedly went down at Diddy's private events.
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
It's no secret that Diddy has had some of the most exclusive and extravagant parties in Hollywood. But if these rumors are true, his parties may have been hiding something darker. Point out that everybody hung with Diddy. Celebrities of all kinds attended his parties. And if there are tapes, some pretty famous faces could be in deep trouble. It's the kind of scandal that could make headlines for years, especially if Diddy chooses to cooperate with authorities and starts naming names.
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his home.
One of the first names to come up in connection with Diddy's shocking parties is Leonardo DiCaprio. Yes, that Leonardo DiCaprio. DiCaprio has long been known for his glamorous lifestyle and partying ways, often seen hanging out with the most exclusive of list crowds.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
His name has come up in connection with Diddy's notorious gatherings, where, according to insiders, DiCaprio was a frequent guest, while no solid evidence has emerged directly linking him to any illegal activities. The M association with Diddy's alleged underground scene has everyone questioning what really went down behind closed doors. Was DiCaprio just there for fun? Or is there more to the story? Only time will tell, but for now, the world is watching.
Diddy has been under criminal investigation for months by federal prosecutors here in New York. And if there are criminal charges, many of them may look a lot like what some of these individuals have been describing.
And it doesn't stop there. Jay-Z, one of Diddy's longtime friends, a fellow hip-hop mogul, is another name caught up in the scandal. The two have been close for decades, attending countless events together and collaborating on projects. A problem is being closely associated with Diddy has now put a target on Jay-Z's back. There's been speculation that Jay's might have been more than just a casual guest at Diddy's party. Some insiders claim he was deeply involved, though exactly how remains unclear. The tension around Jay-Z is rising, and fans are holding their breath to see if any more details come out that could further implicate him in Diddy's questionable past.
The story we're tracking, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on suicide watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after two judges denied his request for bail. This as a grand jury is expected to hear new testimony from sex workers very soon.
Beyonce, too, has been mentioned in the mix largely due to her connection to Jay-Z. Though there are no direct allegations against her, yet her proximity to the drama is enough to raise eyebrows. After all, she's part of one of the most powerful couples in the world. And if her husband is tied to Diddy's scandal, it could cause a ripple effect that touches her career as well. And let's not forget, Beyonce has always kept a squeaky clean image, so the mere suggestion of her being involved in any way has the tabloids in frenzy.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway, and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
Another major name that's come up is Usher. Now, Usher's connection to Diddy goes way back. He was mentored by Diddy when he was just starting out in the industry, and the two have remained close ever since. But with this scandal breaking the relationship is under a new light. Rumors have surfaced that Usher was a regular at Diddy's notorious gatherings and may have witnessed or even participated in some of the activities that are now being investigated. According to some sources, Usher has gone quiet on the issue, but that hasn't stopped people from speculating was Usher just an innocent bystander, or is there more to his involvement than meets the eye? The fact that he hasn't spoken out yet has only added to the mystery surrounding him.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
And then there's Justin Bieber. Bieber has openly talked about Diddy being his mentor during his early years in the music industry. In fact, he once shared how Diddy gifted him a car for his 16th birthday, solidifying their bond. But now with Diddy facing these serious allegations, people are starting to ask questions about Bieber's role. Was he just a young artist caught up in Diddy's world, or did he know more than he let on? Bieber has yet to make any public statements about Diddy's arrest, but the silence is deafening, and with his own reputation on the line, there's no doubt that the public will continue to demand answers.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
Not surprisingly, Paris Hilton's name has also been tossed into the mix. Known for her wild party days, Hilton has been a fixture at celebrity events for years, and she's been spotted with Diddy on numerous occasions. Some reports suggest that Hilton was a guest at several of Diddy's private events. And though there's no hard evidence linking her to any illegal activities, her involvement in that social circle is enough to make people wonder. Hilton has reinvented herself in recent years as a businesswoman and activist, but could the scandal bring her back to her old party girl reputation? Only time will tell, but for now, Hilton's name remains tied to the drama.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
But perhaps the most shocking name in this growing list of celebrities is none other than Jennifer Lopez Diddy. And J-Lo famously dated back in the late 90s. And though their relationship ended years ago, their connection has never really faded from the public eye. Now, with these allegations against Diddy, some are questioning just how much Lopez knew about his activities back then, and if she ever took part in any of the parties that are now under investigation. Lopez has built a massive impact for herself with a career that spans decades, but this scandal could drag up old rumors and cast a shadow over her success. As of now, Lopez has remained silent on the matter, but given her history with Diddy, people are definitely talking.
the money that they're saying Diddy has to start paying this guy on October 1st, Diddy's team is like, hold on, we need an emergency conversation about why this should not have been granted. And they awarded him a TRO, which basically meant that Diddy's team was not allowed to sell any property in that state or anything related to what could be used to pay the plaintiff.
Of course, these aren't the only names being thrown around. Other celebrities like rapper Drake, Ashton Kutcher, and even Howard Stern have all been mentioned in connection with Diddy's wild lifestyle. Whether they were involved in anything illegal or were just bystanders at Diddy's infamous events remains to be seen, but the fact that their names are even being mentioned as everyone on edge, Drake in particular, is facing scrutiny since he's been seen publicly with Diddy on multiple occasions, and some insiders claim that he's been a regular guest at Diddy's exclusive gathering.
That's not the issue. The issue is it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really want it.
What's even crazier is that the investigation is far from over. Authorities are still sifting through all the evidence they gathered during the raids, and more names are expected to surface. As things unfold right now, it's like the calm before the storm. Hollywood is holding its breath, waiting to see who will be named next and how deep the scandal really goes. The fact that so many powerful and famous people are allegedly involved only makes this story more explosive.
Yo, have you stopped to think about, like, Christian Combs, King Combs, entire persona is based around his dad in the 90s.
Let's not forget that this isn't just about celebrity reputations being tarnished. We're talking about potential legal consequences for those involved. Diddy is facing charges that could land behind bars for a long time. And if any of these celebrities were complicit in what went down at his parties, they could face charges. As well, it's a dangerous game, and as the trial looms closer, everyone is watching to see what will happen. The biggest question now is whether Diddy will keep quiet or start. Naming names with so many powerful people allegedly involved, there's a lot at stake. Some sources claim that Diddy has been feeling the pressure and might be willing to cooperate with authorities to reduce his own sentence. If that happens, Hollywood could be in for a massive shakeup unlike anything we've ever seen before. This scandal has a potential to not only ruin careers, but also completely change the landscape of the entertainment industry.
The special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
As Diddy sits in his prison cell reportedly on suicide watch, the world waits to see what his next move will be. His legal team is fighting hard to get him out on bail, but so far it hasn't worked. The court has denied his bail request twice, and with the severity of the charges he's facing, it looks like Diddy might be stuck in his current situation for a while. His team argues that the conditions in the detention center are terrible and that Diddy is struggling, but the judge isn't budging in while Diddy is focused on surviving the harsh conditions of his confinement. Hollywood are more concerned about their own futures. A question on everyone's mind is who's next. Well, more big names come forward as the investigation continues. Or will they be exposed by Diddy himself if he decides to cut a deal with prosecutors?
Is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being. They have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
At the end of the day, the scandal is far from over. As more information comes to light, the list of celebrities connected to Diddy's wild past could grow even longer. For now, the world waits in suspense, wondering who else will be implicated and how this will all play out. Is like watching the biggest celebrity drama unfold in real time, and it's only just getting started.
And they storming your house. It's one of these.
So where do things go from here? It's not just about who might have been at Diddy's infamous parties, but about a much bigger, more complicated picture that's starting to emerge. And what's even crazier is that Diddy's situation is about to open up a whole new chapter in the scandal, one where trust, betrayal, and survival are at the forefront. People are already speculating that Diddy's not going down alone, and if he does decide to cooperate with authorities, the ripple effect could be felt across the entire entertainment industry. The stakes beyond huge.
With this newest lawsuit, this would probably only expedite or increase the amount of allegations and potential witnesses who could testify against Sean Combs.
Diddy's recent arrest has stirred up more than just curiosity. It's unleashed a storm of theories, accusations, and speculation. And his fans and the media try to piece together how one of the most successful figures in hip-hop could fall so far. One question keeps rising to the surface: How has Diddy managed to keep his reputation mostly intact for so long? After all, we're not talking about a string of minor scandals, the things being said about him. Now, these aren't the kinds of accusations you walk away from easily, yet for decades Diddy has seemed almost untouchable. The first thing to consider is Diddy's connections both in and outside of Hollywood. Many believe that his deep ties to powerful figures both in the music industry and in business have allowed him to stay ahead of any major consequences up until now. But that protective bubble seems to have burst as the details of his arrest and the allegations against him continue to emerge. It's becoming clear that Diddy may have used more than just charisma and influence to stay on top. For years, he's been at the center of some very dark rumors, and now it seems like everything is catching up to him. Clip.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
The rumors about Diddy's ties to violence and criminal activity go back decades, from his connection to the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry, which culminated in the tragic demise of Shakur, and be smalls to the whispers of underhanded business dealings. Diddy's been walking a fine line between success and scandal for a long time. But until now, it seemed like he always managed to come out on top. How that's the big mystery. Could it be that Diddy had friends in high places who were willing to look the other way, or maybe his ability to navigate through Hollywood social circles gave him the edge he needed to avoid major fallout? Either way, things are different this time.
There are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
Let's take a step back and look at the big picture. Diddy is facing charges that could potentially land him in prison for a long time. And the scariest part for many of the A-listers associated with him is that Diddy is a fighter. He's not the type of person to quietly accept defeat. Not when there's a chance to save himself. Some insiders have even hinted that Diddy is already considering cooperating with authorities, which means he could start naming names. And we're not talking about small time players here. We're talking about the most influential figures in entertainment. If Diddy decides to turn the tables, Hollywood could be in for one of the biggest shakeups it's ever seen.
That for that long and remain silent? And can you imagine how many other people would have seen that? Like, I'm a domestic violence survivor. So I've been in a situation where I've been...
So who's really at risk? We already mentioned some big names like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jay-Z, and Usher. But they're just the tip of the iceberg. More and more celebrities are being linked to Diddy's parties. And as the investigation progresses, it's becoming clear that the scandal goes far deeper than anyone initially thought. What's even more shocking is that some of these celebrities who have spent years carefully crafting their public images are now being forced into the spotlight in ways they never expected. Take Ashton Kutcher, for example, known for his work as an actor and tech investor. Kutcher has spent years building a reputation as a forward-thinking entrepreneur, but now his name is coming up in connection with Diddy's wild parties. And while there's no concrete evidence tying him to any idle activity, just the association is enough to make people question everything. And then there's Howard Stern, the shock doc radio host, has never been shy by his controversial opinions or his larger-than-life personality, but Evie's been swept up in the tidal wave of rumors surrounding Diddy. Stern have been spotted at Diddy's events before, and though he hasn't been directly accused of anything yet, his presence at these gatherings has people wondering just how much he knew. Did he witness any of the behavior now being scrutinized by authorities, or was he just another guest caught in the middle of a much bigger scandal?
Diddy is now being sued, in addition to what we just talked about, by Dawn Richards. You guys will remember her. She was a part of Making the Band,
Dirty Money,
the Danny Kane era. So basically what she is alleging, she's alleging a lot of different things.
As for Diddy himself, he's been uncharacteristically quiet since the news of his arrest broke. Usually Diddy is all about the spotlight, whether it's promoting his businesses, hyping up his latest album, or throwing extravagant parties. But now, with his future hanging in the balance, he's been keeping a low profile. And for a good reason. His legal team is working around the clock to try and get him out of the messes in. But it's looking more and more like Diddy's only option might be to cooperate. And that's where things get really interesting. Cooperating with the authorities would mean that Diddy would have to reveal what he knows. And that could include some of Hollywood's best-kept secrets. There's a growing belief that Diddy was never alone in his activities, that there was a whole network of people who helped him, who participated in his parties, and who may have even benefited from his influence. If Diddy starts talking, this network could unravel in a way that's unprecedented. People who built their careers on image and reputation could see it all come crashing down. The domino effect could be massive, and the fallout could stretch across the entertainment world, leaving no one untouched.
Allegations that have become shockingly familiar against Diddy in recent months as he has faced lawsuit after lawsuit from women and men who have accused him of all manner of bad behavior.
He and Diddy's closest allies are starting to distance themselves from him. Sources have revealed that some of his longtime friends and collaborators are worried about being implicated in the scandal, and they're doing everything they can to protect themselves. People who were once proud to be associated with Diddy are now scrambling to avoid being connected to his downfall. It's a survival game, and everyone's playing it. One of the most shocking revelations to come out of this whole situation is how deeply embedded Diddy's influence has been in Hollywood, from his connections to the music industry to his ties with top-tier celebrities. Diddy's reach extended far beyond what most people realize. But now, with everything falling apart, it's clear that his empire was built on shaky ground. And as the investigation continues, more and more people are being pulled into the vortex. And then there's a question of what happens next with so many big names potentially involved. There's no telling how long this scandal will last. Will it be a slow burn with new information trickling out over the next few months, or will it all come crashing down in one explosive moment? Either way, Hollywood is bracing for impact. The entertainment world has always been known for its scandals, but this one feels different. It feels like the beginning of the end for some of the industry's most powerful players. One thing's for sure, the world is watching, and as more names are revealed, the public's appetite for drama is only going to grow. People want to know who's involved, who knew what, and who's going to be held accountable. In a way, it's like watching the fall of an empire, and Diddy's at the center of it all. The question now is how far will he go to save himself? Will he turn on his former friends and allies to cut a deal, or will he stay silent, letting the cards fall where they may?
That's, of course, there's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
For now, Diddy's future hangs in the balance. His legal team is fighting to nail to secure his freedom, but with the weight of these accusations bearing down on him, it's going to be a tough battle. The court's decision to deny him bail twice has only added to the tension. And as Diddy sits in prison waiting for his next move, the world is left wondering who's next. Will more celebrities be dragged into the scandal? Will more secrets be revealed? One thing for sure, the story is far from over. Clip.
And let me tell you something else. Not only should he have apologized to Cassie in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he lied.
In fact, we're probably only at the beginning of what could be one of the biggest scandals Hollywood has ever seen. And with Diddy facing serious legal consequences, the people closest to him are likely scrambling to protect themselves. Some are probably hoping that Diddy stays quiet, while others might be preparing for the worst, that their names could be the next to hit the headlines. As for Diddy's fans, many of them are still reeling from the news. After all, D's been a cultural icon for decades. He shaped the music industry, launched the year of countless artists, and built a brand that's synonymous with success. But now all of that is at risk. And as the details of the scandal continue to come out, it's clear that Diddy's legacy might never be the same. It's not just Diddy's career that's in jeopardy, it's the entire entertainment industry. If the rumors are true, and if Diddy does decide to start talking, the consequences could be catastrophic. We're talking about the possibility of multiple careers being destroyed, massive public fallout, and even more legal battles to come. The pressure on Diddy is immense, and everyone's wondering what he'll do next. So with everything unraveling, do you think Diddy will protect his former allies, or will he expose the deepest secrets of Hollywood to save himself? And who do you think might be the next big name caught in the crossfire of this massive scandal? Let us know what you think in the comments below. See you next time